Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Jonathan Cohn, and today I have my book review of the book Star Wars Fate of the Jedi Outcast by Aaron Alston. This is the first book in the Fate of the Jedi series, the last major series of the Star Wars Expanded Universe Legends line. I have been going through the Legends line for the past almost 8 or 9 years now. It's been quite a while. And I'm finally at the end. I've read all the major book series, all the major trilogies, the X-Wing series. I've read the New Jedi Order, which is my personal favorite of the major series. And then you have the Legacy of the Force, which I enjoyed but felt disjointed. And so I'm beginning the Fate of the Jedi. And what I really enjoyed about this book was the tone that it set for our characters. In many ways, when this book started, I felt that the series, that the expanded universe was coming to a close. It felt like it was setting up an epic final storyline for our major characters, for Luke, Han, Leia, and Lando. And I think that the book does a great job of treating those legacy characters well, while at the same time treating the newer characters, the younger characters, the next generation characters well. I really enjoy the character of Ben Skywalker. I think that he's a great read. I think as the series goes along, I think he's going to become my favorite character in the series. And I also think that Jaina's really well handled in this book. And so it's delightful to read. And I really loved all the Coruscant stuff. Coruscant's just a planet I want more of in Star Wars because it's just so interesting to me. I would never live there if I was in Star Wars, but I love reading about it and watching it on the shows. And so in this book, we spend a lot of time on Coruscant, where the basic premise of the book is that after the events of the Legacy of the Force, the Jedi are still kind of trying to get back into the public's good graces, and the leader of the New Republic is now Dala, and she is not a fan of the Jedi, and so she ends up doing whatever she can to undermine them politically and legally. And something happens that causes one of the Jedi to become outcast, to become sent out from Coruscant, never to return. And as a result, the Jedi have to fix that problem and have to, move on from that. And it's just a really great idea and concept, and I think it's executed really well. And you really feel for the characters, and it moves pretty fast. The major thing that sets this series off happens by about page 100 of the first book, so it's really establishing this stuff really well. If you know the Fate of the Jedi series, you know that this will eventually have that group of Sith, the Lost Tribe of the Sith. They have not shown up yet in the series. They don't show up in the first book, but the inciting incident that gets our characters moving in that direction happens in this book, and I enjoyed reading about that. Now, there is a portion of the book that I don't think is very strong, and I'm particularly referencing the portion where Luke and Ben are searching for information about Jason, about what he did, what led to his fall to the dark side, and you follow them going to different planets and meeting different species that are have different beliefs in the Force and different practices in the Force. Most of that I thought was handled pretty poorly, pretty bland, not particularly exciting, and so that plotline didn't do much for me. But the other plotline, the plotline of Jaina trying to rescue one of the horns on Coruscant, I thought that plotline was done brilliantly. I thought that the Han and Leia plotline was pretty entertaining as well, as they're on Kessel. And so I just felt that there was one plotline that was particularly weak, one that was pretty good, and then one that was spectacular. And as a whole, I feel like Aaron Alston just gets how to write the expanded universe characters. When he was writing, he does hold the record currently for the most EU novels. Timothy Zahn has the record for the most adult novels across EU and canon. He has 16, but Aaron has 13, or had. Sadly, Aaron passed away. And You can tell that he just gets how to write these characters because he's been doing it for so long, and also just because they work so well in this book. And so I really appreciated just how it just felt like an expanding universe book. This, probably more than any other book, is a book that you can pinpoint and say like you can see the expanding universe, the dialogue that they would use there. You can see the plot lines, you can see the world building that they would use, the types of characters they would develop, things like that. So it felt so quintessentially expanded universe that I enjoyed it. I do feel that some of the creativity was a bit off in the book, in the designing the world building, perhaps a little bit. Particularly with the new worlds that we go to. I felt like that just didn't work quite well. And in fact, you can actually see a little bit of influence from the Clone Wars TV show in the way some of the pacing happens, which I found really interesting. So overall, I enjoyed the book. I feel like it was very entertaining. It's only the first book of 9, so I don't know how fully it's going to go, how I'm going to feel about the whole series. But overall, I feel very good. I think I gave this like a 7.5 or 8 out of 10, somewhere in there. It's a good book. It's not an amazing book, but it is certainly an entertaining read, and I am pumped to read the rest. I plan to read the rest all in Q4 2023. I'm planning to read 2 in September, 2 in October, 2 in November, and then 1 in December. And that should get me most of the way there. It may not get me all the way there, but it'll get me most of the way there. And so I'm really excited to read more in this series. So if you've read Fate of the Jedi Outcast, what did you think of the book? What do you think of the future books? Which one is your favorite? Which ones are your least favorite? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments section down below. And until next time, I'm Jonathan, and thank you for watching.